What's up?
Not much, man.
Bro, I'm about to add spy calls like right now for the same ones April 6th for 405. I'm going to add them. I was thinking since we're
You think?
seeing all yeah, no, I'm cuz sorry. I was thinking cuz we're seeing all these bank runs. I think the Fed over tightened. That's what I think.
I mean, it makes sense. However, we do have history of what happens to the stock market in the event of these bank runs. 2000 and 2008.
Mhm.
I suspect we're going to see a drop in the SPY. I think the market's gonna take a hit.
I literally just bought more calls.
Hopefully, it works. Yeah, it's good because one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the Silicon Valley Bank shutdown.
Dude, there's more.
Oh yeah, SBNY had shut down. The what was that? Signature Bank of New York, and
Yeah.
then there's FWB or FWC is shutting down.
Bro,
The only
Charles
ones
Schwab
that
was
are
like
gonna
down 20% this morning. What is it? Is it still is it still how much is it down still? It's down 10%, but I think it was down 20% this morning. That's insane.
yeah, I had put that on my watch list for the week.
Mhm.
Charles Schwab and Bank of America, and not necessarily to enter those plays, but those two are going to tell what happens with all of the smaller banks.
Mhm.
And so if you keep an eye on them, so if they stay going down, the smaller banks are going to be screwed. Now, if for some reason they break and they go up, then we should see a reprieve.
Okay.
But I know Schwab was at $60.10 at market open or at pre-market open this morning.
You don't
Wonder
think
what
this
what's
is like
that
a
now?
great price to buy these banks at?
No, I do, but the question is, are they at bottom?
Yeah.
Because how long is the you know Silicon Valley Bank closure going to impact the banks in the market? Oh yeah,
I think the
wow,
previous bank
Schwab's
run was 10 days, right? Something like that.
yeah. Okay, hold on, let me look. I have a statistic here.
But I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to affect Bitcoin and all that? I think it's going to, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Um, for Signature Valley Bank or not? Yeah, or Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah, Bitcoin's
Um,
moving.
Ethereum had a lot of money in there.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. So the on Nasdaq, the bank index is down 12%.
The banking index. There's a what's
Yeah.
what's that? Let me add that to my watch list. I actually don't have that. What's it called?
Let me look here.
Is it just
Uh,
bank BANK? I think I just found it.
yeah,
Okay, I added it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, that's a good one to keep an eye on too.
Yeah, that one's down 5%, but oh wow. Boyle shot up today. It's up almost 14% today.
Yeah, I was watching that a little while ago
Dang, I'm going to add
because
some
I
more
know
right
you
now
keep
too.
adding it.
I'm going to buy more right now too. Yeah.
I I know you like Boyle.
I mean, I've just been dollar cost averaging at this price because I think it's worth the investment. I mean, it's natural
Oh
gas.
yeah,
It's not like I mean, if anything, it's just overvalued for right now. So it's a good trade. If anything, it's a good trade. So I just like how we saw that the volume divergence on Tesla, same things here. So I really like this trade. But anyways, I mean, what the hell? This whole weekend was like anticipating of today. Today was gonna be like this crazy, you know, the markets are gonna crash and all that. But honestly, pre-market was really bad. But to think we're up this high, that just tells me that either like smart money or institutions or hedge funds, they think this is they think this isn't the right value, and this is definitely a sale, or they could be trapping buyers. But if you look at the daily on SPY, the previous two candles, so on Thursday and Friday, Friday's volume was almost double, but it didn't move double as much as Thursday to the downside. So there was definitely hidden buyers there. So that was my key. When I saw that, I said, okay, I'm gonna add some calls here, and I'm gonna keep adding as we go lower, because I see we're starting to see volume divergence, which means it, it's I don't know how to time bottoms, but I know that I can just accumulate as I start to see the volume divergence, and that can help me, at least buy when it's accumulating and sell when it's distributing, rather than just trying to time the bottom, because I suck at that. Every time I do that, I get hammered each time.
Oh man, you should be able to tell just from the volume, the type of volume that you're getting.
Yeah, but the bottom, the bottom, I can't time the bottom. I mean, I don't know if
I
anybody
got to. Oh, I
can,
see what you said.
but
Yeah,
but for
you're saying it might
volume,
be the bottom for
right,
that trading session, but not necessarily the bottom for that ticker.
right,
Which there's
right.
really no way of figuring that out, because we it's all reliant on what the market's going to do. You know
Yeah.
what that retail investors and what the professionals are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And as we've seen some crazy stuff take place, that everything, set right where you're like, okay, this is it, it's reversing. And then next tomorrow, the thing drops another 10-20%.
Right. Let me look at how much volume we had today so far. So far, we've got 70 mil, which
Wow.
is really, really good on SPY, which means we're gonna have another insanely high volume day, just like Friday. But this time, uh, I think we're gonna close green, but we're gonna be in the side. We're gonna be kind of sideways, I think, because 390. I think we're still accumulating. Oh, sorry. I think we're still accumulating here from 385 to 390. We might hang out here for, maybe till tomorrow or so, or maybe power hour we break and try and, pass 395 or something like that. But really, for right now, the volume just tells me that right now it looks like accumulating, because we had to slow down from all the selling. So it's not like it's just going to pivot. We had to
Right.
absorb all of those sellers, and I almost guarantee we're going to see sellers at 390, which we're already seeing now, and I'm seeing volume diverge on the 5 minute. So we might be at the high of the day right now, which is, around 390. We might already be there. So I'm not even going to I just added calls because I'm doing, monthly, a month swing on this until next month. But
Oh yeah, so you have time.
other than that, I just, the volume, I mean, honestly, the volume from pre-market was insane. Everybody was freaking out. But I honestly think I should have taken more advantage of that at the open and bought more calls at the open, but I didn't, because I had such little risk in my contracts already. I was saying, okay, what if this isn't the bottom? I might as well just not even risk it. But I guess I should have swapped the psychology there. I could have gotten at much, much cheaper, but it's okay.
I think it's probably maxed out for the day. As high as it's going to go, and I think we're going to see it reverse by 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to slow down. I mean, we're definitely going to be met with sellers either here at 390 or like 390 250, and we might be sideways for the next 2 days. But if we are holding around 390, I'm gonna add to my calls again and try and get
Nice.
deeper into my position
Well, I
because
think a part of. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, because really, if we're seeing all this selling, it shouldn't be getting absorbed already if this isn't, you know, because really we faked out 390, which is what I would like to think. I think 390 was like the support, and we faked it out, and the market really didn't like that, which makes sense because overall in the entire volume since 2022, the beginning of our quote unquote recession, 390 is the highest volume price ever. So 390 is a big key level, which should have been support, and that's why I added calls because I saw we were retesting the downtrend, and we were at 390. So I said okay, but I added when we got there, but I said we're probably gonna fake out, but in the case we don't, I'll just wait. But we're faking out now. I see that we are rejecting, so I want to add, but just make sure it holds. Anyways, yeah, what were we saying?
Uh, I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So real quick on this banking topic, I just posted in the group the big companies and the amount of money that they had in the Silicon Valley Bank. So all of these companies are
And
gonna take the hit. Now, what I don't
BlockFi
know,
had a lot. Roku had a bunch.
that's 26% of Roku's value.
Wow.
So these the okay, so the Treasury put out yesterday. I had been watching the thing all day. My wife was tired about me talking about it, I'm
Right.
sure. But the Treasury had put out that they were going to uh, go ahead and guarantee all personal depositors their money back, no matter how much the money was, in
That's
any
what
of
Biden
these
was talking
failing
about this
banks.
morning.
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
wait. What did he say exactly? Because I missed it. If you know, I don't know. I might have to go and watch it.
no, I didn't see it, but I know that they had called that emergency Fed meeting, but it had nothing to do with the banking crisis that's taking place
Uh
because
huh.
they had called this way before that. So I knew they were going to touch on it, but I didn't watch what Biden said because I got the gist of it from the head of the uh, Treasury yesterday. And the only thing I didn't catch is, are they going to bail out businesses or is it just personal? Like, are they going to return the money back to the businesses that had money in there, or is it just to personal accounts?
I see.
Because we know any private investor is going to get their full deposit back. Doesn't matter, even though it's over the 250,000 FDIC
Really?
guarantee. Yes. Now the the question is, are they going to guarantee the businesses? But here's the thing: like the Treasury has already said it's not bailing out these banks. They're not helping like they did in 2008 and 2000 because I think it's because the banks are smaller and they only bail out big banks instead of the small banks, which is kind of shitty in my opinion. But it was also bad decision making and being one-sided that the SVB bank shut down. You know, it only took 48 hours for that bank to report trouble and then go out of business. And the executives knew about it because for the 2 weeks prior to, they sold millions of dollars worth of shares of their stock. But what caused the run on it was the fact that their parent company had somebody that was a private investor pull their money out of their account, like all of their cash. And you have to have a certain amount of cash on reserve in order to be backed by the treasury in order to stay a bank. Well, the parent company took the money from that bank to go to their bank, and then it caused the issue of not having enough cash. And they thought the treasury was going to come in and say, don't worry about it. And they didn't. They said, no, we're going to shut you down then. And bam, it was like over with. But there was a point to this rant. Let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, okay. So with not being able to bail out the big companies, which I think is what's going to happen, we have hedge funds and startup investors that are willing to buy their deposits for 60 to 80 cents on the dollar. So they're telling these people, okay, you have 400 million in the bank. We'll give you 300 million and you let us go after getting the rest of your money, but we get to keep it when we get it. So I don't think these big companies are going to tank their tickers in the stock market because
Mm-hmm.
they can recover at least 60% of their money by, selling their debt to or their deposit, I guess, to one of these investors.
Huh.
Now, now, if the the Treasury does reimburse these companies, I still think we see a run on the banks because think about all the people that don't understand economics and all they hear is, "Oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to get your money if it's in the bank." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but this might be, I don't know if it's gonna be a 10-day run like last time. This might be a run over like years, I think. This might have been the trigger for everybody to start thinking, you know what? Like this might have been like the light switch moment. That's probably what I think. I think banks are more like protected from runs now. I think they kind of are. I think they spent some time preparing for stuff like this, so they kind of know what to do and that it's very hard to get everybody to have a run in the bank. But I think that this was the light bulb moment to say, like, okay, banks just, like, what even is a bank, you know?
Right. Um, yeah, I could see that. The only thing that would make me think that might not happen is the fact that Canada last year prevented anybody from taking deposits out of their bank accounts. India did the same thing because of the pandemic. And so you may have had, $500,000 in the bank, but you couldn't touch it.
Yeah,
And the
you couldn't
reason was,
take it out. Dang.
yeah, they didn't have enough cash to be able to have the run on the bank.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
probably gonna be what's more likely than everybody flooding to the banks.
oh yeah.
I think if that was
Well,
gonna happen, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's over because I think a lot of the news and a lot of the awareness came out over the weekend, and this is Monday. Banks just opened, so I think it's possible that fear could still spread, especially now that Biden talked about it.
yes. Yeah, that's a really good point. Well, and I'll tell you what though, the Treasury saying they're going to guarantee this is what they need to say actually, and I think we're going to see it. They're going to guarantee everybody's money, like personal people like us that deposited money in the banks. They're going to guarantee every citizen that they can get all of their money anytime they want to through the treasury if the bank collapses. If if they put that out there, I still think we see a little bit of a run, but I think it'll be more controlled and it won't get as bad as 2008 or 2000. But if they don't guarantee it, make a blanket statement saying, don't worry, if your money's in any of our banks, we're going to make sure you have access to it. I think we're going to see a run and people are going to go start taking all their cash out.
Where would they put it though? It's not. I mean, I feel like times are a little bit different right now. I feel like everybody's electronic and nobody wants to have anything other than a credit card or a debit card, etc. So I don't
Right.
know if
No,
I honestly don't know if that would happen. I think look, if that happens, we might as well like Like the economy's done.
Exactly. That's why they need to prevent it. Because you're right. We're so say you're one of these high rollers and you have 100 million in the bank. Are you going to take 100 million in cash and put it in a safe in your house? You know what I mean? I know exactly what you're saying. Like, what would you do with all that money? And they're saying the FDIC only insures up to 250,000. They are calling for reform, saying that they should guarantee more than that because think about look at Roku has 400 and what 70,000 or $470 million
But
in
is that
SBB
feasible
Bank.
though? Is that feasible to have that much capital ready for all that? We would have to have
Well,
a that'd have to be a lot of that that might take a lot. I'm not sure though, but cuz I don't,
it's
but that would take a lot to have a lot of cap for the government to have capital like that to do that. I mean,
they wouldn't be able.
and we already
There's
don't
no
have
way they
money.
could do
We
it.
already we're already broke.
Right. No, I don't think it's feasible. And that's why they freeze the banks and tell you can't take your money out because there's no more money, paper money floating around left to give to people. And think about what that does to inflation. The government has to control the dollar and keep the value up to drive inflation down, which is why they keep raising interest rates because less people borrow money. And when they don't borrow the money, they don't spend. And when they don't spend it, it stays in the banks and in the government's control. So if they're giving out all this money in the current inflation situation we're in, it's going to literally probably be a Great Depression, in my opinion. Because
That's a whole nother level because if we have to print again and we have to print and print and print, which I don't know if that's an option right now. It would be like, yeah, you're right. It would be a whole new era.
dude, I talk about it with my wife and my friends all the time. I'm like, you know what? I don't even know why people go to work. I don't even know why people, do responsibilities with tensions rising in Russia and with us in China and North Korea. I'm like, World War III is like on the verge. There's no way we're going to prevent this. And then you look at inflation and the way the economy is going, and and of course the feds and the government keep saying, "Oh, don't worry, this is great." Like the Federal Reserve of New York said, "Oh, inflation is going to peak out at 2.7%." I'm like, it's way higher than that as it is. Like, who is dumb enough to believe that inflation is only going to make 2.7%? I just realized I had a lettuce cost $2 and it was 89 cents a
Dude,
year ago.
oranges over here are $1 for one now. It
Seriously?
never used to be that much.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm lucky I can still buy a bag of oranges for $3. But now, if you want to get a dozen eggs, that's a different story.
Yeah, how much was the percentage gain on that? Well, like
It was insane. Hundreds. It was hundreds.
hundreds of percents on
Oh, yeah.
eggs.
Well, and you know what's crazy? When I went to buy eggs, I could buy a dozen eggs for $4,
Yeah,
or
you told me
I
this.
could,
You told me this.
yeah,
6 eggs for like for some, or how many? How many?
it
Yeah,
was
say it. Sorry.
18 eggs for $8. So I'm like, wait, I could just buy
Yeah.
two 1 dozen containers and get 24 eggs, or I can buy 118 and pay the same price as if I had 24. And then they had a sign up saying that you could only buy 1 dozen of the eggs. You couldn't get any more than that. So if you wanted more eggs, you had to buy the 18 pack.
Wow.
Yeah, I was mind blown. And I needed more than 12 eggs. And I'm like, this goes against every fiber in my body. But I need I need 14 eggs. And I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense.
Man. Honestly,
Oh, I know.
I'm looking at Spy right now.
All right,
I
I'll take a
think
peek at it.
I think I don't know if we see any supply here. We just tested off of 390, but there's not really any increasing sell volume, or it doesn't look like there's supply right now. We might actually break before 12. Like we might actually break to like 391 or 392, and there might be supply there, but I don't think right now it doesn't look like there's any sellers. So, and if we don't have sellers at 392, I mean that what a rally off of this news. That tells me something about, smart money's like buying the news now. They're not they think it's over. That's what I think.
Okay, what is the VWAP at?
The VWAP's at uh 385.19 right now.
Okay, nice. I think we're gonna see it get to the 390s, and then we're gonna flush back down to the VWAP.
What, like later in the day?
Yeah,
Probably.
because it's just sitting. Of course, I do like the green candle.
I just don't see any sell volume right now. Maybe it's the sellers are just scared of the trend, like the small 5 minute time frame trend. They're scared of it. They're like,
Yeah,
nah, we're not gonna sell yet. We'll wait we'll wait till everybody else sells, and then we'll start
well, and
selling.
I have to imagine based off of the price of the SPY per share, uh, we don't have as many retail investors in it, and these are probably more professional traders that
Yeah,
are dealing with it, which is why it's being handled so well,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah.
Because
It does.
that average Joe doesn't have $400 to spend per share and be able to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You buy it at 388 and it goes up to 390 with your $388 worth of $2 profit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably more professional. It may get to 392, maybe even 393 before it flushes back down.
That's what I'm thinking. Probably like 392 and a half or so, and then it kind of we see a supply there.
Oh, okay. So back to your comment on you asked what I thought was going to happen to the crypto, and I know a
Yeah,
lot of the deposits for crypto were in the banks. I think I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, and it's up 9%.
that's a
I
yeah.
think what's going to happen is that people aren't going to trust the American financial system
Right.
and how it's breaking down now, and they're going to invest into crypto. So I think we're going to see the money switch over from US dollars into cryptocurrency. Because, like we were talking about, where are you going to put $500,000 in cash? You, you're not going to put it in a safe in your house or under your mattress. So you have to store it somewhere, which is why people put it in banks. So, what is the best place to store it? And you can still make money on it. Put it in the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I'm just frightened by crypto because I don't like. I mean, I still don't know how to do it without like having a broker or like all that stuff that because it's not regulated, and so I think it
Um,
might be more risky to me.
Now they do have insurance when you invest in the certain platforms that we use.
Uh-huh.
There is they do guarantee the money unless the company similar to FTX, unless they steal your money and just go out of business, and then the insurance doesn't work. Which we're seeing. What was
Fucking
that other one?
FTX.
There was another one that just went out. Was it Bitmart? Bitmat?
I don't even know.
Another another one just got busted for doing a Ponzi scheme, like a big one.
Really? When was this?
Yeah, last week.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, no, I've had three of my crypto portfolios, and I'm stupid for keeping my money in cryptos, but I've had 3 of the portfolios get uh, flagged for Ponzi schemes.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Dude.
Yeah, there
That's
was a
why I'm just
small
not I'm
one.
just so unsure about it right now. I want to do crypto, but like that's the thing. I don't know if I trust these brokers or these whatever these companies that are how you get the crypto. I don't know.
I I would recommend keeping them in the big 3,
Yeah.
which would be Coinbase. Um, what are the other 2? Hold on, I gotta look. There's so many of them now. Binance, Coinbase. Um, what is the third one? KuCoin.
FTX. I'm playing.
No.
You said KuCoin?
Yeah, KuCoin.
Okay.
Those are the 3 that I would use. I wouldn't use anything else. Not
Yeah, I
at this
didn't think
point.
about that. I think Coinbase is okay.
I mean, they're cash rich, and same thing with Binance. They have enough money in their bank accounts to back all of their deposits.
Right.
Of course, so did FTX, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, the FTX collapse was very similar to um, the SVB going out of business
Yeah, it felt
because
you're right. It felt the same. It did feel the same.
they had uh, a couple of whales that they were using the whales cash that was in the cryptos. They had them pull out, and when they pulled out, they were no longer cash solvent. They didn't have enough money in the bank to be able to back anybody who had cryptos at that point, which is why they went out of business. Which is where I think SVB screwed up. It's the Silicon Valley Bank that catered to startups and tech companies. And they only had 12 locations in California, around that area.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't diversify. And so when their 2 big depositors in the company got spooked because of their parent company, they went ahead and they pulled their money out. Well, once they pulled their cash out, the bank didn't have enough money to support the depositors that were in the bank still.
Spy's about to break
Now, if they
390.
were nice. Now, if they were diversified, they could have taken the hit and, you know, been able to call it a day and then just do business as usual. But because they weren't diversified, it went ahead and it shut the doors.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna set back any of the new startups and innovation companies for about the next 10 years because SVB was loaning money to any startup, any tech company, any new age company coming out, and a lot of money just to get them going. Because the history of it is when these companies take off because they're in the tech sector, they deposit all their money in that bank for giving them a shot.
Yeah.
So who's going to loan money to startups and new innovative ideas,
Elon
especially after
Musk.
this? No,
I thought he wanted to buy
I
SVB, right?
that's what I heard. Yeah, he was like, I'll put a bid in on it.
That's what I thought.
When you're the smartest man in the world, you can do that.
Yeah, you just like throw money at people. You're just like, yeah, try it out.
Exactly. And then, did you see he bought 10,500 shares of Tesla late Friday?
He did.
Yeah,
What's
and
Tesla at?
it is 172 and 36 cents.
Okay, not bad. I honestly I don't know if it's gonna go lower. I think this is about the area where we might see accumulation. It might fake out and do like 160 or somewhere near 150, but I don't know if it's gonna hit 100 again. I was kind of hoping and planning on it. I might be able to grab some shares, but that might be it. I mean, because the short was so scary. That's how I know it's holding strong, and it's gonna be really hard for it to fall because
Yeah.
I kept shorting it and shorting and shorting. I was like, man, it's just not working. And then finally, I got the one and it worked, but that's like it. I mean, the volume really says it's it, so I don't know if it's gonna get any better than that.
Dang.
Maybe later, but then it's so
Yeah.
it's just gonna keep trending up. It's not like it's gonna go back to the lows. I mean, for it to bounce like that over low accumulation, it's very odd. The odds are low that it's gonna see 101 again or 100 again. Now, if it held 100 for like a week or two or a while, you know, then
Yeah.
it could go back, I think. But I mean, it bounced within like, let's see, it bounced in a week, so that's not really that's strong. That means there's a lot of buyers there. I don't know if it's gonna go back there, to be honest. So sad about that. I was hoping with that short. I was like, I'm gonna short it back down to 100, but no, 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 no. Anyways,
Yeah.
man, yeah, good chatting. I think we covered some good things. I think it's possible that the Fed is definitely considering the effects of over tightening now. I think that as well as now we're very very and we're really in a danger zone because if we need to print now because of some bank run or something, I don't think that's very much of an option. So you're right. This is like a very high volatility zone right now, or high volatility time.
Yeah.
So there could be a lot of money to be made here, but it's scary time. So
It really is. It'll be interesting. Like this week, I would trade light and let everything shake out
right, right,
because I think we see more downside before we see the upside.
yeah. Well, if that's the case, that's the case. But
Well, and I'll tell you, I was just doing the numbers on my watch list. There were 10 stocks, but only 8 of them I put on there to trade
mm-hmm.
because the Bank of America and Charles Schwab, I keep an eye on it till they hit bottoms. And then they'll tell us where the rest of the banks are going. But only 2 out of the 8 are running, and they are barely running. So that's 25%. When have my numbers been that low for stocks that I picked? So it just kind of shows you what the day looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I thought SPY was just about to break 390 because we saw a little bit of increasing we saw validating volume there, where prices were increasing and volume was increasing, but I guess that's double top season. It's over. That definitely
Yeah,
was the high of the day, was 390, and it's probably done. And
I think the market in general is oversold from Thursday and Friday, and then today. So it needs to go back down. And when the cool thing is, once it gets close to bottom, it'll start getting overbought because people will be like, okay, I think this is where, this is low, and then everyone will jump in and start buying. So that'll really be the key. Try to figure out why while watching the spy where the bottom is going to be, and then that's when everyone's going to jump back in.
I don't know. We might have just seen a test from the market makers to see if there is supply here.
I mean, that's true too.
because
So
I mean the volume is still not really. I mean, we just had a nice red candle there, but the volume wasn't that great. So I just don't know, but I'm just gonna say what's more logical is that we trade sideways for a second, and then tomorrow or the next day see some 395 action, maybe 400s. Some gap up type business, but
yes,
that's probably my crystal ball. Other than that,
yeah, I think it's pretty accurate.
I'm about
It's
done.
pretty-
Um, I think damn banks. Yeah, they might. You're right. They might increase that FDIC to get some more confidence back, but I don't even know if we have
Yeah,
the money
dude,
for that. To be honest.
we don't, but I think they would do it anyways because it
Yeah.
sure beats the run on the banks option.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, all right, man. Well, you got anything else other than that? I'm kind of good. I think that was good. We got got some good things to look forward to this week, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on Oh, hold on. What does the economic calendar say? What's coming out this week? It's not CPI, right?
Um, I posted it yesterday. Let's look.
Today. Oh, core CPI was today.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So,
Oh, okay. Tomorrow is core CPI.
oh, today's Monday.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's probably right then. If I hope the numbers are all right. Anyways, wait, what's the next retail sales? CPI is Wednesday. Housing starts Thursday. Fridays are gonna be industrial productions. So we got a good week.
Yes, we definitely do.
When's the FOMC? Oh, on the 22nd. That's the next
So
week.
close.
Dang. Next week. That's crazy.
Yeah, it
Everybody
is.
people are saying like there's gonna be like no rate hike, but most likely it'll still be 25. Most
I think
likely.
it's going to be 50.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I think they have, well, because they said within what, by summertime, they have to increase it by 150 basis points. So if you only do 0.25 now, then what are you going to do? Do 50 and then 75? Like, I think it would be smarter to break it up into do 50 3 months in a row versus 1 month taking a big hit.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. But
But would
yeah,
they go back to you think they'd go back to 50? They wouldn't care of how they're viewed or
yeah,
nothing.
no, just because the same, it's going to be the same story. Oh, we're not doing rate hikes. Okay, we're going to do minimal rate hikes, and then then Jay Powell is going to say, unfortunately, based off of the new data that came in,
Yeah.
we we had no choice. I'm really sorry about that, but you understand. It's the same
Oh. Oh,
conversation
there's a
every time.
390 break on SPY.
Nice.
Dang.
Yep, there it is. You
It's not
called it.
playing around. I guess
And
that
it's lunchtime.
yeah. I guess it was a test. I guess the market maker was looking at the supply, seeing how much supply there was. They don't. I guess there's none. It makes sense to me. I think everybody's scared, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I
I'm
think
gonna
so
shut
too.
up because you know.
Cool, man. Well, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, bro. We'll see you next week, and
Sounds good.
we'll see if the economy doesn't fade out this week.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, buddy.